Beware.
Welcome to the very first episode of Viewer Beware. I'm Garrett, and I am a lifelong Goosebumps fan, so I decided why not start a show reviewing every single episode of Goosebumps. First episode we have The Haunted Mask. That's actually a two-part episode, so it's going to be a little longer than a normal one. Who cares? It's a story about a girl who is afraid of everything, and then all of a sudden her bullies bully her more, and she wants to get revenge in a black trench coat. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Speaking of haunted masks, anybody else getting tired of these mask mandates everywhere? Like, I walk somewhere and because of my hair I get called a lady all the time, and it's like, thank you, I appreciate it, you're calling me pretty, but at the same time I feel like less of a man. Not your problem though, let's get right into it. This is one of the few episodes that has a special intro by R.L. Stine, and some very poor lighting.
Hello, I'm R.L. Stine. I write the Goosebumps books.
See? Told you. Carly Beth is a wuss and scares easily, out looking for a pumpkin, when two bullies from her school apparently buried themselves in a field and just waited for the right time to strike.
Carly Beth, you should have seen your face.
We also see she's followed around by a man with lizard skin. She goes back home and Carly Beth's mom finishes a straight-up serial killer art project of her daughter.
Hey, come here, I want to show you something. Check it out.
It's kind of creepy, Mom.
The mom reveals that Carly had previously asked for a duck costume, and her mom makes her one, tells her where it is, she walks to her room and hears quacking, but she's somehow still scared of a duck. She had every chance to be prepared for this.
Gotcha.
Take off that duck costume. It's my costume.
Carly Beth the scaredy cat. Carly Beth the scaredy cat.
Later at school, the school bullies go a little too far and put bugs in Carly Beth's food.
What's wrong, Carly Beth?
She finally gets her courage up and goes to Lizardface's Halloween store, where he promptly shows her that he's a terrible businessman.
What are you doing here? Who are you?
She stumbles upon the private reserve of masks and sees that special someone. Then we get a potential pedo moment from the Lizardface as he locks her in a room and touches her weirdly. She gets tired of this creepiness and then just grabs a mask and runs.
Here's your money.
As soon as she gets home, she scares the piss out of her little brother.
Hey, Noah. Stay away. No.
Then she says she has to get even with her schoolmates while wearing a Columbine jacket. She grabs her mom's creepy mask and then parades around the town with it. She just attacks any children she sees, hoping that they're the school bullies. Her friend asks her to chill out, and then she loses her shit.
But it's too weird for words.
That's when we get our to be continued. And apparently the freakout was just a joke. She still new at this.
Gotcha. Should have seen your face. It was the best.
At the first house they trick-or-treat at, Carly Beth threatens the family for some reason.
You better watch what you say to me if you know it's good for you.
We flash to Chuck and Steve, who are sword fighting in the cemetery, and then Carly Beth still being a shithead. When Carly finally finds her bully, she scares them to death by introducing herself.
Yes.
Do we know you?
Oh, yes.
You're Carly Beth, right?
She's really bad at this. But it doesn't matter because this is scaring Chuck and Steve shitless anyway. And then finally, the head talks. Her mom happened to make a magic head at the same time Carly Beth had a magic mask on.
Help me.
Carly then desiccates a grave really quick to bury her fake head in it. Carly and her friend go back to her friend's house to notice the mask is stuck on her face.
Mask. It won't come off.
She runs to the mask store to tell Lizardface what's up. He tells her it's not a mask, but a real face.
Because it is not a mask. It is a real face.
See? Told you. He tells her the mask can only come off with the power of love.
Only you can. With a symbol of love.
See? Told you. The other masks want her to have that face forever, so they have some primo 90s special effects, while they're chasing her down to the cemetery. She then quickly desecrates the same grave she buried her head in to get it back out. This symbol of love allows her to remove the haunted mask. She takes the mask back home, hugs her mom, and gives the mask to her brother, because, why not? And then we get a classic RL outro.
Mom? Dad? What did you think?
And that was the haunted mask. Don't worry about that. That was the haunted mask. Pretty scary story, right? Well, like all stories, there are some things we can take away. What have we learned from this tale? Well, of course, it's the power of love trumps all. Little brothers and sisters are terrible. And of course, Canadian children think that slightly spooking each other is the height of comedy. Now let's go into the episodes What Gives You the Bumps? We have 14 counts of a Canadian sorry, 1 creepy adult, gratuitous use of R.L. Stine, 1 mysteriously appearing store. I think my count is a little off, but I have 17 jump scares, 2 school bullies, 1 human effigy, 3 supernatural events, 1 little sibling, gratuitous bug eating, gratuitous public mockery, gratuitous 90s special effects, 1 mask made of a real gorilla hair, 1 possibly doomed child, 1 girl to monster transformation, and of course, defiled grave. All these things. Spooky. This is a classic episode. Everything about it is just on point. It's almost the pinnacle of what Goosebumps is. It has the spirit of all of it packed into one, which gives me 5 G's out of 5. Watch this episode. You won't regret it. I'll see you guys next time on Viewer Beware.